spread out to Major League Baseball and their teams.
Well, you heard him. He was asked today, hey, are you having fun? Are you enjoying this? And he thought deeply about it because you know that he is. He's enjoying the experience of wearing that uniform and being around these guys. But, boy, the stress that comes with it.
There's no doubt, and no country's removed from it. The pressure on the manager.
Smoking short. Aruba-Reina's up with it.
They get crushed. I mean, there's a reason why no active managers are doing this besides their job of getting their team ready. It is an awesome opportunity, but it is, I'm not kidding you. I told him 5 months ago, and I've said this 3 times now, you're going to end up looking like my head of hair when this thing's over if you're not careful. And he's got a beautiful head of hair.
Surprised he still took the job. You told him that. That'd be enough for me. I'm out. Went in for a couple interviews. GM at Team USA, Tony Reagan's threw a Team USA jersey at him and said, you want to do this? He said, let's go. And he said, I haven't slept 4 months since then. Getting ready for this.
Meetings and Zoom calls and conversations and erasers, meaning, you know, this guy's now not playing, this guy's going to play, and there's just the constant changes. We've talked to all the managers of these countries, and they talked about how they put their teams together, and it's unique to them all, but it's not easy. And a couple of them said, I'm having conversations. If that guy gives me kind of a maybe, he's out. Like, if he's on the fence, he's out. We don't want that kind of mentality. So
Chart 0 for 2 today. Fly to right, line to center. Swings and misses. 2 out. Carlos Vieira's done a nice job out of the Team Cuba bullpen. 2 up, 2 down in this 4th inning. Paul Goldschmidt comes up. Team USA ahead 5-1. 1 win away from the championship game and a chance to defend its title Tuesday night against the winner of Japan and Mexico. That'll be tomorrow night on FS1. A strike on Goldschmidt. What a tournament this has been. The games have been fantastic. A lot of people at Team USA saying last night's the best game they've ever been a part of. And the environments, the backdrops, the way that this whole tournament is colored with the environments we've had. It's been spectacular. Mike Trout, one of those guys that said, you know, I knew it was going to be fun, but it's exceeded my wildest expectations. These are a bunch of guys who played in big games. I mean, Trout's somebody who hasn't played in the postseason since 2014, but had those 3 games postseason experience. And he said last night's environment and this whole experience has blown that out of the water. On a 2-1 pitch, Goldschmidt's way out in front. It's 2-2. Carlos Vieira looking for a 1-2-3 against the top of the lineup. Count goes full. And the other thing Mike Trout was talking about, he said, the fans last night, I'm not sure if the fans can really appreciate how much they mean to them, how much they could do to boost a player.
There's no doubt. I mean, it's hard to play 162 games like that, right? And it's hard for the crowd to have 162 games of that kind of emotion and energy. But this is I mean, you feel like you pole-vault, like you just are thrust into an incredible environment.
Goldschmidt aboard with a 2-out walk, and we go down to Kenny.
Joe, it's not just Trout speaking so highly of participating in this tournament. The players are becoming increasingly vocal about how should want to be in this kind of thing. Talking to JT Realmuto after last night's game, he said, "I can't believe anybody would rather stay in spring training than play in a game like that." And then Nolan Arenado in his news conference today said, "There's no reason why the stars of our game shouldn't be playing in this."
That is Arenado there taking a ball.
Well, and Kenny, you're right, and that report is just so complex on so many levels. And I would say this, it's definitely something that hopefully as they continue to evolve and this continues to play, you've got to be committed early on. And you got to make the necessary changes, which means get ready a little earlier, block out the noise, and hopefully have the blessing of your teams. Because that's the other component nobody knows about, is how many blessings is not given for that player to play in this event. For one reason or another. I'm not saying right, wrong, or different.
Well, I think the primary reason that this WBC has been as great as it has is the stars are playing from a position player side. Much has been made out of the lack of star power when it comes to pitching, especially for Team USA. A lot of the country's best pitchers are involved in this WBC, not as much on Team USA. On a 2-1, Arenado chops it foul, 2-2.
But you can't play this game with the what ifs. You can't go to spring training. What if I get hurt? What if I do this? You can't. No one, whoever plays this game long enough, ever thinks about getting hurt. But how many guys in spring training get hurt every year? A lot. And so the news becomes, out of a tournament like this, it becomes tenfold when somebody gets hurt. See, I told you, this is what happens, and it's unfair.
Down the right field line, if it's fair, Goldschmidt could have a shot. Into the corner it goes. Gabert picks it up. Goldschmidt heads for the plate. He'll score standing on a triple from Arenado.
Just some really good hitting on a changeup that just drops out. Look how he just half swings it, kind of like 3/4 in a golf swing. After he swung and missed at that pitch, he was able to make the adjustment and hit a ball down the line. And if you don't think Paul Goldschmidt can pick him up and put him down for a big man, you're mistaken.
Goldschmidt's been one of the best base stealers among first basemen in the last few decades. Really moves still at 35 years old. Scored all the way from first. Made it 6-1 USA. I think it's Kyle Schwarber to the plate. Already reached twice, and he takes a strike here.
Not that this will come into play, but just in the early rounds, the run rule comes into play in tournament style, not when you get to this point. There is no run rule. The game will have to be played 9 innings in its entirety. There's that half swing. Beautiful thing. And he knows it. This is a little slice down the right field line. And
look out. 2-1.
Schwarber's like, all right, Uncle. I already got hit once.
Walked on 4 pitches. Then he got hit on the 4th pitch. And now he's ahead 2-1. So he's seen 11 pitches tonight, only 1 strike. Hey, give me something to hit. Armando Johnson, manager of Team Cuba. It's got to be so tough. You haven't seen anything to hit all night. I mean, a really pretty good changeup there. You lay off.
Great changeup, actually. The amount of movement that has downward.
Great combination, power and on base. Fouls this one off, 3-2. Finally had one to hit.
I mean, how about the lineup the Phillies are going to have when their star player gets healthy? That's going to be a formidable, one of the best lineups, you know, potentially in the East and potentially in baseball with the addition of Turner.
The addition of Bryce Harper midseason when he comes back from Tommy John. That is in the dirt. And in comes Arenado. Schwarber will go to first. Third time he's been on tonight. It's 7-1. Javier retired the first 2 hitters in this inning. Walk, triple, walk.
Yeah, that ball just gets away, and there's really nothing the catcher can do on that. It spikes early, and Arenado walks home. Right about now, it's the psychology of this game is where Cuba starts thinking about their travels coming here. The adrenaline rush of playing the game and winning, you don't think about that stuff. And all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, this game's getting long. It took us a long time to get here.
Familiar walk for Pedro Luis Lazo tonight. He calls down to the bullpen. Another change for Team Cuba. USA's opened it up 7-1.